world surrounded by franchises, reboots, and shared universes. An elite team of podcasters will risk body and soul to investigate the depths of intellectual properties, one multiverse, subgenre, and trend at a time. Who are we? We're the IP Squad.
Welcome back to the IP Squad and our ongoing investigation into films based on video games. I'm John Campbell, and joining me for the last time in this investigation, he finally made it. I know he's taken some bumps and bruises, but he's finally survived through to the end of this case, or at least we hope, because we've got just one last case. Mike Gorgone.
You know, they always say your last one is going to be the one you carry with you for the rest of your life. But honestly, after Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Mario Brothers, oh, those goddamn Hitman movies, I'm just glad to be going out on something easy, something that goes down smooth.
Yes, we are talking about 2025's A Minecraft Movie. Not the Minecraft movie, a Minecraft movie.
There is a subtle brilliance to that I appreciate.
I do think that's... here's the thing. Here's my overarching hot take on this movie. I respect the, commercial corporate entity that they have built here, while also recognizing it holds almost no appeal to me. But I understand what they have engineered here.
Engineered, I think, is the perfect way of describing this film.
That's what it feels like to me. This movie is, because we talk a lot about this sort of corporate or studio meddling, sort of impersonal thing. I think this is it at its best in some ways, where it's nobody's here out of an undying passion, I don't think.
I think there is a movie that is this movie perfected, and that is the Lego.
I think the Lego movie is, because that really felt like it came from the heart from some people, right?
Sure, but it was also engineered in that way to be this distillation of a corporate idea and not necessarily a single cohesive story that is told through its IP.
Yeah. Yes, I think that is the better. Barbie is sort of a thing that started as that and then morphed into something else. But yes, there is this idea about...
I think Barbie is the best of those three films for the very different reason than what we're talking about.
Right. I think if you're looking at the spectrum, there's your three, your polar ends and your middle ground. But yeah, this is... it is so... It's not even hiding how engineered it is.
They literally, all the characters put their hands in near the end of the movie and go, Minecraft.
Yeah. Yes. Well, because I will say, this is one of those this is one of those movies that when they announced this, you're like, what the fuck is a Minecraft movie? What is this?
I said the same thing about a Lego movie.
Sure. Yeah, and that's fine. The difference is, I think a lot of other people, obviously, in our generation had... Lego, there's an immediate fondness there. Whereas Minecraft, I'm like, oh, that's a thing. You've played some Minecraft in your day.
John, that's a you thing. Because you say you have no connection to this, and I cannot be far from you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I have such a deep and abiding love of the video game Minecraft, because we have to maybe give a little context to this. Minecraft, and prepare to wither away and die, is a nearly 15-year-old.
Yeah. It's not new.
It's not new.
Yeah.
it has only gotten more popular as it has gone along.
Yeah.
But like I was there when it was a browser-based beta.
Yeah, I mean that's what I remember when it first coming on the scene, and like knowing people who were kind of messing around with it, but it wasn't in culture. Like it was like a thing where it's like, oh, that's like, and once again, I always knew it as sort of this open. I mean, I remember people being like, it's like video game Legos.
I mean, and that's the draw, right?
Yeah.
Is this ultimate expression of creativity, of a sandbox given to you that you can destroy and build at your whim. And like, there is, if you're playing in survival mode specifically, there are some like overarching goals that you can try to achieve. But another big draw is just creative mode, where you can literally do whatever and build to your heart's content.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I've been playing Minecraft on and off, like I said, since before it was like released as a 1.0 game. Back in 2009, it was like originally coming out as like a public alpha release that you could like get in on in a browser based sense, and eventually had a full release for the PC. Now it's on every console and your phones and every mobile device. And you can play Minecraft no matter where you are, what you're doing. And I think I own the game on almost every console I own that can run it. Like, I've bought Minecraft over and over again a few times because it is an incredibly like enjoyable Zen experience for me. I maybe don't play it very often, but every, I don't know, 6 to 8 months, I will have a deep and abiding urge to just spend an entire weekend playing Minecraft, and I always have a good time.
But nothing you are describing right now sounds like a narrative experience.
Because it's not. And that's why this movie has to be engineered in such a way as to play on what has become the corporate IP of Minecraft. Because while I do enjoy the sandbox building nature of the game, there is more to it now than that. It is now its own aesthetic and brand, to a point that Minecraft as like a proposition of a film has to be more than just what if build with blocks.
I'm looking at the amount of people that are given additional literary material credit on this movie. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 writers wrote aspects of this movie.
Sure. And I'm sure some of that
actually,
is
sorry, those are the
people
additional
writing
plus the 3 people who are actually credited with the script. So 24 people have some fingerprints on this movie script.
And I'm sure some of those people are like story by credits for like people who've contributed to the lore of Minecraft, because the Minecraft world does have like a lore to it that honestly this movie stays pretty damn faithful to.
I mean, no, actually, a lot of these are working screenwriters. I mean, Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley, John Spaeths, Simon Rich, Zach Penn, Peter Sollett. These are all working screenwriters.
What nerd movie hasn't Zach Penn? His fingerprint on.
Here's a question: how do I become a Zach Penn? Because I would love to just work on all the things I like. Including, I want to talk about Rob McElhenney and Megan Amram. Who people would know from working on, well, obviously, or Rob Mack, sorry, he's changed his name now legally to be Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But of course, I think due to Mythic Quest, he was going to write and direct this Minecraft movie for a while. He was attached to make the Minecraft movie.
Love Mythic Quest.
Mythic Quest is one of the best shows. And also,
the ending kind of, but
it wasn't, it was not meant to be, they shut it down. It's a real bummer that I don't know what happened there anyway. Oh, and actually before that, no surprise, Sean Levy was attached to direct this, because talk about another guy who is at least in the consideration for every nerd thing, right? And I'm sure he would have been fine, but and I know Rob Mack has been trying to make like a big budget movie for a while, and I think somebody should let him do that. And at that point,
I think he's a pretty good director. If Mythic Quest is, I mean, he directed not
He directed
all the episodes,
but a lot of it, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's ready to move to that level for sure. And Steve Carell was going to be in that version of it. I don't know what that was.
I think that's maybe what we should hone in on here in terms of like starting to discuss this movie is just how long this has been gestating. Because
this was 2016 that McElhenney was working on it.
the Minecraft itself as like a game has been around for 15 years. The movie has been in development for more than half of that.
Yeah, looks like development really got rolling in 2014 was when they were like seriously putting thought to it.
Because it was already popular at that point.
Yes.
It was a game that had exploded onto the PC scene, but was getting released on consoles at that point. And it was just blowing up everywhere.
If there's one thing we know about particularly modern Hollywood, and of course it's kind of the backbone of why this show exists, right, is anything that is known to large amounts of people, they're like, could that be a movie? Regardless of whether or not it seems like a movie, it doesn't matter. You know,
this thing that makes money in one aspect of culture also make money as a movie.
I mean, they're making a Hot Wheels movie right now, you know, like that kind of thing where you're just like, what is that?
Yeah.
So, I just like feature
cars, John. What if
feature film based on the line of toy racing cars is the plot description on IMDb. Okay, yeah, whatever, man. I don't know. Play-Doh, the movie, is in development.
Sure, why not?
Don't worry, folks. We are already talking about doing a toys and games season of the podcast. So.
Oh, if we don't get to Battleship at some point, what are we even doing?
I know. What are we even doing here? Yeah, Toys and Games is going to be a wacky season. Anyway, but yes.
God, that can't include all the Transformers stuff, right? It just can't.
No, that will be the Resident Evil of that season, right?
Yes,
because that's its own thing. That's its own thing, baby. No. You think you know me, and you think there won't be a Transformers season of this show?
Sure, but like we're almost at the point where G.I. Joe qualifies for its own season.
Yeah, we're getting there, and especially, well, you know what may end up happening is they're actively about to film a G.I. Joe Transformers movie. So when that becomes one franchise, I think that whole season becomes Transformers.
Shit, this becomes Alien versus Predator all over again.
Yep, I think that I'm waiting for that movie to come out, and then I will build the whole season around those two as
just
one
Hasbro
entity.
Season. Gotcha.
100%. Well, because they're still once again, everything's a universe, right? They're still talking about their universe over there. So they're still talking about, we want to get Mask involved, and obviously they're making.
No one remembers Mask except for us.
Masters of the Universe is they finished filming the Masters of the Universe movie right now.
I'm so curious to see that movie.
I am super curious. I'm super curious about that. They've also finished filming the Voltron movie, which I'm also very curious about too. So we'll see. But anyway, so I think it's from this makes sense to me that reading about the history of this movie, and you talk about, because like even there's another guy between McElhenney and Jared Hess who ends up making this movie is the aforementioned Peter Sollett was going to write and direct it at one point. And then but here's the thing, all of these are completely different stories. So I do think that it seems like a lot of the development of this movie was literally just people going like, well, what's a Minecraft movie? What would that be? Because like I said, it's not the aesthetics are there.
Mm-hmm.
And the world, as you're once again, you're gonna know more than me. But you're saying like when you say it's true to the world of it, like there are certain things, but like what is your way in as a story about characters with emotional arcs?
It's let's take the classic, well-trod child gets sucked into Fantasyland isekai genre of the late '80s.
It seems like everybody kind of had some variation on that, right? Somebody from our world gets sucked into the world of Minecraft, stuff like that, because they're saying that.
Which you speak about this. I speak about the speed bumps I experienced over this season.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest ones is Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
And that I raged at for having that premise. Yeah. This movie having that premise, I'm actually way more on board.
Oh, I think because once again, yes, I think that makes. Because once again, it does seem like everybody had some variation on that. Because you're just sort of like, yeah, that would be also probably if you had asked me what should Minecraft be. I don't know, guy gets pulled into the Minecraft world.
You already know that you're pitching this movie towards a younger audience. That's
Yeah.
just immediately going to be the case because of the dominant
yeah.
community of Minecraft is the kids who have latched on to the aesthetic. Because whether or not you talk about the Minecraft toys or there are how many Minecraft spin-offs at this point as like
Jesus.
a franchise? It's quite a
Yeah.
few. And I've played some of them.
Yeah.
The big one I played a lot of was Minecraft Dungeons, which is just a Diablo clone.
But the guy who got this over the finish line is Jason Momoa, who's not only in
His
this
name
but is a
as
producer.
a producer caught my eye.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once he signed on, he signed on, I think, without a director, and it was basically just like that was sort of Warner Brothers going, okay, we now know how to sell Minecraft because we can build it around Jason Momoa, which is a crazy sentence. But it's just like, got it. If we've got Momoa, this can work. And I will say, and I love Jason Momoa, he is, and actually I'll say this about the whole cast, he is very game in this thing.
Who do you think came to this film with the pitch of, what if Jason Momoa was Billy Mitchell from?
I think Jason Momoa came with that pitch.
Donkey Kong.
I think that's I think the look, the perform. I think it's all Momoa.
Because like that's the pitch here, right?
And that
for those who don't know who Billy Mitchell is,
By the way, if you've listened this season and you haven't seen The King of Kong, forget every movie we've talked about this season. The best video game movie is The King of Kong. That's an amazing.
The King of
film.
Kong is a documentary from 2007 about, well, it's about a lot of things, but mostly it's about one guy trying to topple Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell is the Donkey Kong champion from the 80s,
but has always had controversy around him. Right, has always been somewhat of a questionable figure. That documentary, because that documentary, started out just like, we wanted to just sort of profile classic gaming, competitions. And then it turned into, we've actually stumbled into like a very narrative film about a battle between good and evil, essentially. Like, it starts out as a portrait of classic gaming. It ends up being about a battle between these two guys, Steve Wiebe and Billy Mitchell. It's one of my favorite documentaries, and like I said, it's maybe the best movie about video games anyone's made. It's fantastic.
It's absolutely astounding.
It's
yes,
interesting.
Go see The King of Kong.
Yeah, it's great. And what's interesting about it is we didn't cover, because it's not based on a video game, and also who the hell would want to watch it. But it's interesting that Peter Dinklage also basically plays Billy Mitchell in the movie Pixels.
Oh boy! Thank God we didn't cover Pixels this season. I couldn't have.
No. Who the hell wants? But I'm just saying. I think it's interesting that that King of Kong documentary reached a level of success and pop culture notoriety that documentaries rarely do. That Billy Mitchell as a character type became a thing major studio movies could include, and people would be like, "Oh yeah," even if they don't know the name. The second you see the hair and the attitude, you're like, "He's this guy."
Yeah.
The two separate movies.
80s arcade gamer is like an archetype.
Because if you haven't seen
Billy
that,
Mitchell
Billy Mitchell is the thing where he's still rocking the mullet in modern day and stuff like that. I mean, it is. And I will say, regardless of my enjoyment of this movie, Momoa is having a lot of fun in this thing. I mean, I think everybody is, but particularly he is fucking psyched to be here.
I think we're going to be on opposite ends of the spectrum here, John, but like, I fully bought into this movie. I had a good time.
It's fine. I mean, it's okay. It's pretty harmless.
I think all the actors are having a good time. Yeah. I think for what it is like quick, easy to digest. Like, hey, you want to see some Minecraft stuff? Here you go. You want to have some fun characters reacting to Minecraft stuff? There you are.
It's okay. I mean, I think that's there's just an upper limit. I did find it harmless. Like I said, I mean, this is faint praise, but like, yes, this movie did not piss me off. It did not annoy me. I like everybody in it. I think they're all good actors. I don't care about Minecraft, which I think is probably the biggest detriment to me. It just doesn't matter to me. I don't dislike it either, but I think to some of the enjoyment of the Minecraft stuff, I'm like, okay, I recognize that as Minecraft. But I just think I was always going to hit a wall.
Even at the baseline of kid gets sucked into magical world and brings back real life lessons. Like, I think this movie succeeds at that.
Mostly, yeah. I mean, I think it's it's all right. I think it gets.
He's got a jetpack at the end, John. Everyone's happy he's got a jetpack.
I do think, and maybe I'm taking it too seriously, but it does get a little lost in all the like orb of something, crystal of something, have to find the thing and get the thing to the thing.
This is classic. This is classic. Kid gets sucked into magical land stuff. This is you got to find the thing so we can get home, but we learn some lessons along the way. That's the plot of every single one of these.
Yeah, at a certain point, I got a little bit like, I don't care who's got what orb and what power it's giving them or whatever.
I don't know. I give it props because I am a personal sucker for this sort of movie because I'm the guy who goes back to like Forbidden Kingdom or The Page Master. Or
I don't love those movies
either.
These
types of films.
I don't love those movies. I'm not a never-ending. Maybe I just don't like this vibe particularly because I don't love Never-Ending Story that much. As much as I love
Never-Ending Story is another great example.
As much as I love 80s fantasy movies, that's not one of the ones that I particularly adore.
And like obviously the dark twist on this is Labyrinth.
Yeah, yes, that one I do love, but I mean that has a lot to do with just my love of Henson, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't hate this movie, but I kind of ended. I went, all right. Aside from, once again, I laughed at what I expected, which is like the commitment of Momoa and Jack Black, who I just enjoy as screen presences. I think Jack Black's
Jason
great
Momoa
here.
with his chuck buckets.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I will say his enthusiasm is infectious. I was enjoying watching him enjoying being because clearly I do think he is a guy who, and I love Jason Momoa kicking ass as chief of war on Apple. But you know what I mean? Like, but I'm saying like a lot of the time that's what he's asked to do. I think this is your high school quarterback is cutting loose being a goofball. Right? Like it is just sort of a thing where it's just
Momoa's tried to have some of these movies in recent where he gets to be a little bit more of a goof. Because I think this is maybe the top of that, but there was that one like what was that movie where he was like a weird dream Slumberland. That was it.
God, there's a movie that doesn't exist.
Where he's like a weird dream monster and on a magical journey with a girl through dreamland.
Yeah, God, I totally I don't think I ever saw that. Did you ever watch that?
I don't think I ever saw it either. No,
yeah.
This was something that went straight to Netflix.
Yeah, and just I didn't hear it was bad. I heard nothing about it. I completely forgot that existed. But yeah, most of the time when I see Momoa, no surprise, I see a lot of his stuff, but he is a guy with a gun in his hand who's, staring. Well, obviously we're going to have him as Lobo next summer, which I cannot wait
That'll be fun.
Because that's another part where he's like, I have to be Lobo. He apparently called James Gunn and is like, I'm going to be Lobo, right? That's happening.
As he stares in the mirror, black makeup already applied to his eyes.
Yeah, I do sort of think, he just showed up already dressed like him. It was crazy. And obviously,
we actually just showed up to Jason's house and started filming. We actually didn't tell him to do anything.
Yeah. He's going to be Blanca in the new Street Fighter movie.
Makes all the sense in the world, just based on physicality.
Dead on casting, yeah. I mean, I do really enjoy the guy. I almost ran into him at a convention once, and he is a intimidating fellow. Literally, I turned a corner and almost ran into Jason Momoa's chest because that's where I came up to. My height stopped, and he kept going. So anyway, I do think yes, I think everybody here is game. I think the movie is so. Like candy coated and sweet that it's hard to like. I'm not mad, I mean, like it's hard to like really be like that thing fucking sucks. But I am just like
because it doesn't.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm just gonna call my shot right now. Is the people who we're gonna read some negative reviews at the end of this episode?
Oh yeah, of course.
And they're just gonna be mad at the fact that like. Kids in their Minecraft. Like, it's going to be a lot of angry fists kicking at the fact that I don't like Minecraft, and so this movie is bad.
That's the thing where my opinion is, that's what I'm saying. I recognize I'm not the audience for this, but I'm also I'm the kind of film goer that can go like, and that's fine. Not every movie needs to be for me. That's okay.
This is a PG kids movie based on a big IP that is big with kids. And
if I had kids, I would have no issue taking them to this, which I think is a key thing, because there are some things where I would like just kill me before I have to go see that. You know, I always go back to the
Garfield.
Yeah, the Garfield movies. I always go back to the Emoji movie as the ultimate example of like, just go ahead and kill me, because I could because unlike Minecraft, that is nothing. An emoji is not like you. How do you build a? Come on. Other than of course Patrick Stewart's the poop emoji, which is only funny in concept. I don't actually want to watch a movie where that happens. Let's talk about
the idea that. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked.
No, because I want to talk about the rest of the cast of this movie. Obviously,
yeah.
Jack Black as Steve, who even I know Steve is the main character of Minecraft.
Steve is the name of the baseline avatar. If you do not change what your avatar looks like it is the Steve.
And I mostly
and
know
the
it
female version is the Alex.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mostly know that because when you look at the Minecraft figures, right, there's a Steve figure. So you're like, okay, so there's a guy named Steve.
Steve also played very well by Patton, he played a different character. Patton Oswalt played a different main character in the Minecraft story mode game, which was made by Telltale. Also very good.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know anything about that, but that also makes sense. I mean, if this had been Patton in this movie, that would have made sense too. You know, I mean, but yeah.
But honestly, I really liked the chemistry between Jack Black and Jason Momoa in this movie. I need another two-hander with them, I think.
Yes, I would 100% watch that. I mean, I'm excited to see Jack Black and Paul Rudd hunt an anaconda this Christmas, but
or is the anaconda gonna hunt them?
Yeah, well, yeah, who's hunting who? Am I right? But that's I mean, that would be more my jam, and that's I think an R-rated bit of silliness. But yeah,
I think this movie is pretty smart in that, like, it opens with narration from Jack Black. We're never that far away from him as the Steve of this movie.
Well, and I think he's kind of, his whole presence in Hollywood has always been, it's interesting for a guy that started with Tenacious D and stuff like that, right? But he's always been a guy, kind of like Jim Carrey, where we talked about with the Sonic movies, who appeals to adults and kids equally. And I think that's
because they are sort of like cartoon characters made flesh.
100%. I think that is part of the appeal of it. Is they are. I mean, Jack Black has always been his whole thing. He's even talked about this. His whole thing is I'm heavy and agile.
Yeah, and I've always described him as bouncy.
Yeah, you can't picture Jack Black not moving. Even looking at like some of the pictures from the premiere of this on IMDb, he's always like in a crazy pose. Yeah, you know. Yeah, and it's just it's hard to hate him.
Not unbelievable that he does head dives in this movie. And you're like, yeah, that's the thing Jack Black would do.
It's hard to not like, you know, I mean, like he's just so energetic, and he seems so. And actually, I will say, the press tour for this movie, I personally found more entertaining than the movie itself. He and Momoa are just funny together. Like there's just a funny vibe between them, and everybody once again seemed to have a good time. I will say,
I really want to see them in a two-hander.
Yeah, it's great. And then, but I think everybody's good here because I was thrilled to see Danielle Brooks in this, who of course I love on Peacemaker. She's great on there. I was not an Orange is the New Black viewer. I know that will shock people, but I'm sure.
But she was all over that.
Yeah, she was one of the main characters in that. And I think she's good. I mean, I think everybody here, if you're talking about building an ensemble movie, everybody has their thing, and it is, you know, when you're building like a movie like this, right? You're looking at this energy, right, in directions. So you've got your earnest kid character, you're kind of over the hill washout in Momoa, your grizzled guy in the world in Jack Black, and Danielle Brooks is kind of the audience to a certain extent, right? She's sort of the one who's like, hey, what's going on here?
He feels like a character who can just act as an earnest, like, oh, you got this kid, to Emma Myers' character, right?
Yeah.
Because Emma Myers, who most people would know from the Netflix show Wednesday,
Yes.
um,
But she's the
she
one who's
is sort of
totally
the earnest, like, I've sort of lost what it means to be a child character.
she's the one who's kind of rolling her eyes at the whole affair, right? Because she's lost that, like, ugh. She's a teenager.
But also, she's an older teenager. I think it's heavily implied she's at least 18, considering she's like adopting her younger brother, basically.
I should hope so. Yeah.
And getting a job at a horribly bland chip company, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, she's sort of she's the one who's lost the magic of the world, right? She's a little beat down by the world. She's being an adult sucks, and right. And so yes, Danielle Brooks's character is a little bit more on board for the ride, to some extent,
because she's the adult who is trying to keep her life like more fantastical and magical, and unfortunately the realities of like, but I also have these things that I need to, these obligations that I need to live up to, has made it so I'm a real estate agent, not the wandering zoo professional that I want to be.
Yeah, I mean, this has a lot of touchstones of these kind of, once again, and I talked about this with Sonic. One of the, I think the real, something you got to keep in mind when you're writing a movie that is ostensibly for children, or at least aimed primarily at children, is everyone has very clear and simple motivations. And I think this movie, every character is very clear. There's not the movie doesn't get too bogged down on anyone. Everyone has very simple, easy to understand emotional arcs.
Yeah, but I mean that's the touchstone of a.
That's not a criticism. I'm saying that is something I think that you have to do. In once again, in a non-disparaging way. I'm not saying this, but like in quote unquote children's entertainment or family entertainment.
Yeah, and the bad guy is the bad guy because they want to be bad, and that's like all it comes down to.
Yes.
Rachel House as Malgosha was one of the more entertaining parts of this movie.
Well, I will say, Jared Hess, who's the director of this movie, we haven't mentioned Jared Hess, who jumped on the scene with Napoleon Dynamite, also is reteaming with Jack Black from Nacho Libre.
Right.
Yeah. But has just pretty much swiped the Taika Waititi ensemble here.
There is a large swath of this cast that will be familiar if you have ever seen Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, because we've got the aforementioned Rachel House, who is in every Taika Waititi film. You've got Jermaine Clement, who's obviously one of Taika's closest collaborators. Brett McKenzie is in here doing motion capture for Nitwit.
So the villager that has the date with Jennifer Coolidge over the course of the movie is Nitwit, and so I guess Brett McKenzie was the on-set guy for that.
Was voiced by Matt Berry, who also very famously works with Taika Waititi on What We Do in the Shadows. So, I mean, I will say, good on you, Jared Harris. Go ahead, or Jared Hess. Go ahead, because all those people are great. Number one, Matt Berry, I think, needs to be a voice in everything. Should be my new rule for all. He just makes me laugh.
I don't think either of us had watched this movie previously.
I had not.
I was not aware that the basically entire ensemble from Flight of the Conchords and What We Do in the Shadows and what was the cop show spin-off?
Wellington Paranormal.
Wellington Paranormal, yeah. And or Our Flag Means Death, or name your...
Yeah, I mean, once again, I look at it as the Taika Waititi ensemble, right? I mean, it's sort of like the Christopher Guest ensemble, or, there are these people that just sort of have their people. And actually, speaking of the Christopher Guest ensemble, who comes Jennifer Coolidge from that.
Yep.
And I will say, I did enjoy all of that stuff because it's very weird.
You can tie up my garbage bag anytime.
Yeah,
but be careful, it's full of raccoons.
that stuff worked the best for me because that's the out of left field, like alt comedy stuff that I like. That I like if you can sneak that into like a kid's movie. Where you're like, what is this? All the interactions.
Ever since I hit you with my Jeep Grand Cherokee, I've known that I.
Yeah, all of that stuff is it's all the stuff I like in the Sonic movies where they're going on about Olive Garden. You have military guys talking about Olive Garden, never any pot. And you're just like, what is this? It's so random in the middle of this movie. I love all that stuff. That feels very like Simpsons-y to me in that way that I love.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, what? Okay. Or like Lonely Island or any of that kind of stuff. I like. You can. I do think one thing I like about this movie is by hiring somebody like Jared Hess to direct, you've got a comedy director. I think had this movie is earnest enough, but knows that like you're only going to take a Minecraft movie so seriously. So I think the idea of hiring somebody with more of a comedy mind is smart.
Well, I think that's key because, again, this is a movie for younger audience. What you're selling them on is the aesthetic.
Yeah.
If you want to hit a broader audience, you have to keep them there with something.
Yeah.
And as dynamic and as engaging as I think the overall design of this movie is, because while it's not like a one-for-one adaptation of the Minecraft art style, it is making Minecraft look quote-unquote realistic.
I think it's
in a way that is like captivating.
It's
for sure.
similar to what we talked about in Detective Pikachu, right? Where it's like it's 3D enough, but it's not trying to totally real world it. But it's keeping its cartoon aesthetic, but it's been real worlded enough that it doesn't look weird that humans are interacting with it.
Yeah. Like the whole like blocky nature of everything lets you go cartoony enough, but like trying to the zombies are a great example of that so far as like in Minecraft, everything is just made up of blocks, right? Like there's nothing with rounded edges really. So the zombies are just like 2 sticks for arms, 2 sticks for legs, and a torso that is also a rectangle, and so their head is about as wide as the body. And so obviously in this they give them more human-like proportions,
right? But
they keep them with this like blocky headedness that is
it's
kind of
similar,
keeping with the whole Minecraft, like everything's a.
I was gonna say that kind of stuff reminds me of some of the stuff I like about the Lego movie designs, right? Where it's like it's keeping to the core idea that we're dealing with blocks or bricks, right? And so like like the water in the Lego movies is still bricks that are making waves, right? Like it's this sort of we're ever keeping to this aesthetic. And of course this movie gets into, eventually when the kid has the power to move and control blocks and stuff like that, right? I mean, you even get into like literally people are quote unquote playing Minecraft in the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I mean we don't make any bones about it. Like we go to a crafting table, lay out things, you hit it once with a hammer, and now you've got like that's how the game works. So that's how this world works.
Yeah, and I said I follow all of that. I think I will say this here is whether or not, however much I enjoyed it. This is probably the best Minecraft movie anyone could have made, as far as I'm concerned.
Unless you want to take it like so deadly seriously from an in-world perspective.
Yeah.
But they've done that in like animated shorts. Those exist.
Yeah, and I would say
like
that I would have found interminable, I think. I think I would have really been irked by that.
Well, because you hate whimsy.
Well, yeah. Jeez. Is deadly serious whimsy, though?
But like the idea of a fantasy story told in a fantasy land, and that fantasy land is blocky and cube-like.
I will say, I don't think I would have been alone. I think that would have not made nearly $1 billion. I don't think that version.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have Jason Momoa being like, yeah, radical, brother.
Because I think there are, like you said, I think there were a lot of people who were just like, oh, I don't know anything about Minecraft, but I like Jack Black and Jason Momoa, and the trailer made me laugh, And that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like I said, as an engineered product, I am following like, wow, yeah, the algorithm of this really adds up, which sounds very cynical on my part, but like, let's be honest, That's what Warner Brothers was thinking. The fact that there's any quality to this is a bonus.
This movie can help us circle the square when it comes to the discussion that I think is at the center of this whole season, which is the balance between art and commerce. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And
right.
I mean, that comes down with so many of the franchises that you and I is like, okay, at the company level, the only thing they're concerned about is what can turn a profit.
100%.
It's when you get handed off to the writers and the directors and the actors involved that any passion or like art gets brought into the subject.
Well, because it's the reason they keep doing it. I'm like, we keep talking about, like, one of the big things on this season has been, should they even make video games into movies? And based on the numbers we've run, coming almost to the end of this season, I think this is the second to last episode of this season that we're recording right now, I would say the numbers would argue no. Like, in terms of how many have been successful, no. They definitely, the bad way outweighs the good this season, 100%. But
yet,
it is a thing where the reason they keep doing it is because they know if they can hit one, we might be looking at $1 billion.
Because the flip side of the coin is that the medium in which the IP of this already exists, i.e. video games, is one of the most financially successful art forms that exists on the planet.
I think it is the highest in terms of, and there's some reasons for that, obviously. Video games are more expensive than movies, both to make and to purchase.
Right.
So, you know, there is a higher risk and reward over in the video game world. But yeah, it is sort of like, man, look at how much money they're making. If we could only get a piece of that.
Well, and then you have people who are looking for a piece of that, and you have games. I mean, Minecraft is a good example of. Minecraft started as a really independent project.
Yes, it did.
Like,
oh, yeah.
You talk about games that like cost a lot of money. We're talking about AAA titles that are being put out by like Ubisoft and Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft. Minecraft was made by some people for a computer so it could run on the back end of a browser, and eventually became this multi-million-dollar as eventually Microsoft would buy Mojang and all of that stuff. Yeah. And look, I'm not going to get into Marcus Persson, Notch, the guy who created Minecraft. He's a problematic character, let's just say.
Okay.
And you can go read his Wikipedia. But it did start as like a very early development, as like a very small group of people made this game that eventually became successful. And if a movie could ever do that, Hollywood producers would go crazy if like, well, if we could only spend $5 million and make $1 billion, my God.
Right. Yeah, that's the dream. This movie, though, cost $150 million. So now it did end up making, it didn't quite make $1 billion. It pulled in $957.8 million, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
Especially because I think this one was a real, like, we don't know. We think, once again, because the whole idea, of course, too, the other thing about when they look at that money is not only do they see the money, but they say, ooh, built-in audience. I've literally heard things like, if, you know, whatever percentage of people, if we get even a quarter of the amount of people who play Minecraft to see this movie, we're one of the most successful movies of the year.
That was the whole bankable idea with Warcraft, right?
Right,
World of Warcraft was the most played MMORPG in the planet. You had millions upon millions of people playing it. Yeah. And the idea was, if 5% of the people who play this game come to the movie, we're going to be making so much money we won't know what to do with ourselves.
And that one kind of worked, but they sort of lucked out on some stuff. This one is a more
Chinese market, baby.
Yeah, we talked about. Go back and listen to that. That is one of the most fascinating box office stories of a movie to me. Of a movie that's both a bomb and a massive hit. It's a very strange movie. But this one I think just in general though was always going to have more potential to hit because that market is bigger. kids weren't necessarily going to go to Warcraft.
Yeah. Before we get too much into the weeds on this movie, we haven't really talked about Sebastian Hansen.
Oh, who's
ostensibly our main character in this.
Yeah, I mean, is the center of the movie for sure. As Henry, who I like, according to the Wikipedia entry, is described as a creative boy.
Yeah, and I mean, look, brief sketches of these characters notwithstanding, this is our character who it feels misplaced in the world and so has a desire to escape to a.
Yeah,
it is always the case in these
things. I think he's totally fine. I think he is definitely in the mold of Henry Thomas and E.T., or like you talk about any of those Amblin sort of like, I'm a sensitive kid looking to escape into fantasy, you know. He reminds me a lot of those Amblin protagonists, and I think he's fine.
Yeah. I was just struck by this movie for one simple reason, though, and that is this is a kid who would play Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
And so this world must suppose that the video game Minecraft does not exist.
Oh, when we get to our toys and games season that's aforementioned, you're going to hear me go nuts about this with the Ouija movie. This is a movie that pretends a Ouija board is like a mystical object and not a mass-produced thing you can buy in any store. Anyway, yes, there is sort of that buy-in, right? And it's something we talk a lot about on Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters. Go listen. But we talk a lot about, like, anytime they do modern day, like, Dracula movies, it's like, okay, is this a world where Dracula is a pop culture thing that people know or not? And different movies handle it differently.
I mean, yeah, we can all remember Blade Trinity when Dracula goes and visits the Dracula store.
Or one of the things they love to do is like, oh, Stoker's novel is actually based on fact, and that's what he was writing. But people thought, you know. But there's always sort of that thing in, you know, when you're dealing with massive omnipresent IP, that when you're making an adaptation of it, it's like, yeah, it kind of can't exist. Or you do something insane like the new Matlock TV show, where she is a character who has named herself Matlock after the old TV show.
Wait, what? That's the premise of that show?
Yeah, Kathy Bates is a lawyer named Matlock, but her name isn't really Matlock. She's just, that's the persona she's put on.
And in the show Matlock,
she says things like, my name is Matlock, you know, like the old Andy Griffith show.
Oh my God.
Oh, what? It's so weird. Because when I saw it, I thought either this is just an updated gender reverse Matlock, or she's going to be like daughter of Matlock, right? No, they went a third option.
A way weirder option.
That show is very strange. And so ends John Talks About Old People Shows, which could be a segment on here for sure. It's a very strange show.
It's not?
Yeah. It might as well be. John talks about what old man show he's watching this week. Anyone see Law and Order last night? All right. So, yeah. I forgot what we were... Oh, yeah, the idea that, yes, he would be a Minecraft player, but Minecraft doesn't exist. And it's not like the which is interesting, we talk about Jack Black's insane involvement in video game movies. It's not like the Jumanji movies where, of course, Jumanji isn't a real thing. So the idea that Jumanji is a video game, well, yeah, we don't have a Jumanji, or at least not like that.
Well, and there's that... The whole premise in those movies seems to be that Jumanji is a force that manifests as a game for whatever generation needs to be cursed by Jumanji.
I really like those movies. I think those movies are very clever. And this movie is definitely borrowing some of the structure of those movies. It's not copying them, but definitely there is some similarities there. And what's that are more present because Jack Black is in both. He can't stop.
Yeah, I mean, I always forget that Jumanji is also kids get sucked into magical world plot because they inhabit the adult bodies, right?
Yeah, the thing they do there that I love is that they are in the game avatars are that, you know. So that's a fun idea there. Those are good movies. Once again, we didn't cover them because they're not actually based on video games, but in terms of movies inspired by the idea of video games. I think those are very clever.
I concur. I'm actually shocked that there hasn't been a video game based on the movie Jumanji that is based on those video games.
There is. It's just not good enough to warrant anyone's time. But there is.
Fair enough.
There is.
There's shovelware out there.
Yeah, it's just yeah. It's it could be something they put a lot of work in, but they chose not to.
Okay, fair enough.
Jumanji the game exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
No, of course not. Yeah. So and I don't know. There must be Minecraft the movie, the game, right?
Not as far as I can tell. Not really.
Okay.
So
I mean, give it a second.
Minecraft. Yeah, maybe give it a second. But
Yeah.
like Minecraft as a game exists in its own. Like Minecraft is Minecraft. They've been slowly updating it over the course of 15 years. Every time I revisit the game, there's something.
Yeah.
I like Minecraft. Minecraft Story Mode was the Telltale Games like story version of the game. It's a Telltale game. You make decisions. People will remember this.
Mhm.
Good stuff. Minecraft Dungeons is, like I said, it was like the top-down Diablo clone.
Mhm.
Minecraft Dungeons Arcade is like a large arcade version. The one I have not played is Minecraft Legends, which is like a real-time action strategy game, like I don't know, like Baldur's Gate or like what else would I? Yeah. Anyway, it was made by a bunch of Relic Entertainment people. They made a bunch of good RPGs like Homeworld back in the day.
It's an interesting thing. I want to talk about two things. Well, let's get to what the and this is such a fucking studio executive thing to say is I want to see exactly if I can quote who said this. I don't know if anyone's actually credited with saying this, but like the Warner Brothers theory is because of the world's use of infinite mods, characters, and biomes, the amount of Minecraft movies we can make is virtually endless. I don't know that that's true. I mean, it is true that they could make, but the idea that like that's always a dangerous mentality for a studio is like, oh my god, rinse and repeat, baby, copy and paste forever.
Instead of the dark universe, it's the block universe.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of the thing, right? Is it does feel a little bit like, hey man, this is great. What do you think about the idea of this as an ongoing, not only franchise but universe? I mean, obviously,
I think that's
there. They'll try.
I think it's silly to assume that they won't try, right? But to think of it as a larger extended universe project in the vein of the MCU, right, is flawed from the get-go.
Yeah.
The MCU, and by any other extent of any other like shared cinematic continuity, you are pulling on this idea of a contiguous world narrative that you're trying to shape over the course of a cinematic franchise. Saying you have that capability just because there's a lot of stuff in Minecraft is a bad way of approaching franchise building.
Well, it's just it's so counterproductive. I think as you and I, as people who like storytelling and things like that, it is such a cynical, not creative way to just be like, we can do this forever because we just have to slot in it's a different thing now. Bing bang boom, it's easy. It's a math problem, it's an equation now. And you're like, ugh.
It's a misconception of the idea between content and narrative, right?
Oh yeah.
Minecraft can have all the content you ever want because it's infinitely malleable, because there's this like continually growing overworld that Mojang is constantly updating and adding new pieces to. But just because they added dolphins to Minecraft doesn't mean you can now make the dolphin Minecraft.
But to Warner Brothers, it does. And this thing hitting big, unfortunately, this is, and I had the same thought about Barbie. I'm like, oh no, regardless of how good these things are, the success of these movies are going to lead to a lot of bad movies.
But okay, just bring up the list of the movies we've covered thus far, John,
Oh, I have it right
in
here.
this
Yes.
season of the
Yes.
IP Squad.
Yes. I have it right here.
Of the last, let us just
Yeah.
say, for big round numbers, 10 years.
Yeah.
So since 2015,
Okay.
how many of like big video game franchise movies have done well?
Okay.
I'm gonna say 2.
Let's say let's just say well.
Just made over, I don't know, $400 million.
Yeah.
Like enough that like it would start the drool and the salivating glands going of a given studio producer.
Okay. Well, okay. I mean, obviously, if you count movies with sequels, and I mainly mean the Sonic movies, as one,
Sure.
then like 3.
Okay. So I was close.
If once again looking at Sonic as just one entity, then yeah,
Sure.
I would say 3 because I think it's Sonic, it's Mortal Kombat, and it's Detective Pikachu.
Mortal Kombat's an outlier because it was released during the pandemic, and
But
like,
it was
yeah, it
deemed
did okay.
it
but
was deemed successful, and they've already made a sequel, so I'm counting that, right?
yeah,
Detective
and, like,
Pikachu is
Detective
interesting as we talk about.
Pikachu-
There hasn't been a sequel, but obviously that movie was objectively successful.
right, but it's also part of the most successful multimedia franchise of all time. Come
Mhm.
on. And Minecraft is one of those things where, again, they're betting on a certain percentage of the player base,
Yeah.
i.e., all the kids who play Minecraft, dragging their parents to go see this movie,
I have-
and that is what happened.
I
Their
have-
bet paid off on this one.
I have no doubt they will make a second one. And I'm not saying it won't. I just am going to be curious to see if there's still the same amount of fervor for the second movie. Maybe.
I don't think Minecraft's going away. I know it's
No.
just as popular
There'll
now
still
as
be
it was 10
interest,
years
but
ago.
I'm curious whether or not a sequel will, because we also need to talk about the downside to the success of this movie, which is the destruction to theaters. There's unfortunately a slight darkness that hangs over this movie a little bit. The chicken jockeys.
The chicken jockeys, yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't even say that's the fault of this movie. That speaks to something I just don't like in society right now.
I mean, the Wikipedia article has several
Yeah.
paragraphs about this particular
The chicken jockey
thing.
TikTok trend, which immediately just that phrase makes me upset. Because the TikTok is whatever, but the TikToking of society irks me. And if you want to say old man's yelling at cloud, fine. But I think when you're actively disrupting things and leading to any level of destruction, that's not good. And unfortunately, there's been sort of this like, if I'm doing it as part of a TikTok trend, then is it really a problem?
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
The trend, if you even want to call it that, is like, to explain it to our audience, because I'm sure there's people who have no idea what we're talking about when we say chicken jockey.
Yeah.
Chicken jockey is a thing in the movie, right? Is like
Yeah.
zombie, and the whole idea behind it is that there are these certain like memeable moments in the film where Jack Black usually is the one to call out specifically something from the game and go, I am going to say the words of the thing that is right here. And in this case, it is the chicken jockey, which is a little zombie that rides a chicken.
Yeah.
Haha, we all laugh.
Chicken jockey. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when he calls out flint and steel, or water bucket, or lava bucket, or any number of things.
Yes.
And a certain subsection of the audiences for this film memeified those moments by reacting to him saying those things in the movie with let's call it enthusiasm, but then that enthusiasm would become disruptive and in some cases destructive.
Yes. There was a lot of throwing of popcorn, jumping on seats, I think to the point of possibly tearing open seats. I mean, it ebbed and flowed from place to place. Yeah.
How that evolved over the course of this movie's runtime, it obviously is influenced by the idea that those moments were shared via TikTok and other social media platforms.
Yeah.
Which have then, of course, spurred that behavior on in want to make reaction videos, yada, yada, yada. These trends sort of come and go as they were.
Right.
But the intensity of these sorts of trends have not seen the like when it comes to Minecraft. And again, that I think speaks to the fact and popularity of Minecraft, but also sometimes the people who are going to do these things are just looking for an excuse. And if it wasn't Minecraft, it would have been something else.
Sure, absolutely. And that's what a lot of the reaction is. Like, it's not, but it is a sad day when Jack Black has to come out and be like, hey guys, don't do this. I'm in this movie and I'm telling you, please stop doing this.
Yeah.
I also didn't care for some people. And this was a minority, but there were some people just like, hey man, that's participation. Isn't that what you want out of a movie? It's like, no, because a lot of theater employees, there was a whole thing I was following on Reddit that was just theater employees taking pictures of the theater after a screening of Minecraft, and it would just be wrecked. And they're like, I got to clean this shit up.
Yeah.
And that's not cool, man.
And
Enthusiasm for a movie is one thing, but that's crazy talk.
But a part of that is our perspective as theater goers who what we're looking for out of the theater experience is to everyone be there to appreciate a film and just, in some cases, sit there quietly and appreciate it. But a good rowdy screening of a thing is its own like subsection of theater going experience that you or I aren't necessarily looking every time we go out to the theater, but is thing people seek out and participate in, lest we forget like Rocky Horror Picture Show going on forever, and like screenings of The Room have very similar like audience reaction things going on there. I seem to remember us all having a time during Avengers Endgame when Cap got the hammer and everyone lost their goddamn minds in the theater.
But cheering and applauding, especially in a where enough people are doing that is becoming that's one thing. That's being a participatory crowd. Yeah. If you're the only person doing it, that becomes a problem. But
but then when you start screaming and throwing things and tearing at seats, like does that just speak to an overenthusiasm for this movie in particular, or a bunch of Gen Alpha kids looking to tear shit up and getting influenced by the internet? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what the takeaway from this is. But
other than we can be old men going tisk tisk, no more, you youth.
I mean, it's just sad that any part of society felt that was okay, just from an objective standpoint. I feel like.
Yeah, but I can't say that speaks to this film at all.
No, I don't think. No, I think it speaks. No, I think it speaks to the youth. Mostly motivate the young. Let's not that young people in general, but that it is younger people who were already interested in this movie are more likely to do that. I don't know. Maybe that's the only thing I can say about it. I think exactly. I don't think it has anything to do with this movie. Unfortunately, it's a thing that this movie carries with it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember
it'll be a thing.
There were plenty of stupid trends that popped up when we were teenagers. That as the internet was in infancy, and stupid stuff's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, there was also the either a Minions movie or a Despicable Me movie thing where people were disrupting as well. Remember that, where they were wearing suits and stuff?
I absolutely don't.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't take off to the extent of this, but it's similar. Anyway, it's all. I just don't do it. Just be conscientious of other people, folks.
Telling people to be conscientious of the world around them is zero-sum game, John, and we've lost that fight. I feel like with the younger generation.
No,
as a guy who works with middle schools on a regular, having them be aware of their surroundings. So hard.
It is a thing though that makes me go to the theater less than I used to, for sure. It's just like everywhere I feel like every time I go, there's somebody being a jerk, and I'm just like, ugh. It's becoming more the norm, and I don't like that.
You need to embrace your inner revulsion and critic and have the willingness to turn around and say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But confrontation is scary, and I understand that. But
Yeah.
if more people were willing to turn around to the teenagers chatting in the back of the theater and say, hey, I'm trying to watch a movie, please shut up.
Yeah.
I think there would be less of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, but then, I read stories about people who do that and get the shit kicked out of them. So, it's a whole thing. Anyway, I don't know. I have no conclusion to make from this. It's just worth noting.
Fair enough.
Do we want to talk about how this thing did comparatively at the box office?
It did real good.
And of course, this is an interesting one because we're talking in the year it came out. So the year is not over for box office, but at least as of right now.
I mean, the only things it's still in is like second run theaters at this point. But yeah.
But I'm just talking about like in terms of where it will ultimately land come year's end. I don't know, but at least as of this recording, with 957.8 million, where do you think that lands it in the top 200?
And again, the top 200 is like as of this recording, we're at the end of September, early October. So like. Right. That will date this particular episode, so I'm only working with 10-ish months worth of the box office returns here. But do I really think anything in the rest of the year is going to unseat this? No. I want to say it's sitting pretty at 3.
Bang on, Gorgone. It is third.
Yeah.
Just below number 2, which is Lilo and Stitch, 1.037 billion, and still the highest grossing movie of the year, Ni-Za 2, with 1.9 billion. That is
I knew that
crazy.
Weird Chinese animated movie was.
Yep. It's that and that's
didn't know Lilo and Stitch was number 2. Huh?
Oh yeah, Lilo and Stitch made an insane amount of money. And then never count out those dinosaurs. Jurassic World Rebirth. That is a franchise that prints money.
Really?
Oh my God. That franchise has never lost an ounce of popularity. It is
I was so
crazy.
Aggressively medium on that film.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's fun. Dinosaurs go chompa chompa. I like that.
They're not even dinosaurs at this point. They're just movie monsters.
Yeah, well, I like monsters too. And then
I like dinosaurs more.
In 5th is How to Train Your Dragon, which made a crazy amount of money, 634.9 million or billion. No,
I will say
that's million. Not it'd be crazy if it was billion. Yeah,
I needed some cathartic release this morning after a very emotional couple of days. I participated in a wedding.
Yeah,
love was felt. Everyone was feeling it, and I was just like, I need something to give me a good cry. Let's watch the end of How to Train Your Dragon this morning. Because that will get me every single time.
Have you seen I have not seen the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
No, because I don't need to. I have the original.
Okay. I mean, I'll watch it at some point, but
I have no need or desire to watch the quote-unquote live action version, which is just an animated film where the character who is still animated is the most animated. The dragon.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people did feel the need, and obviously it's been a big hit.
Because How to Train Your Dragon is another one of those franchises that is older than you think it is, and so now the people who grew up with How to Train Your Dragon have kids and are taking their kids to the thing they know is going to do well. And Lilo and Stitch is in the same category as this.
Well, I think Lion King was that too. I mean, people forget that thing made $1 billion, and actually Mufasa also made like 800 million or something.
Mufasa's the weird one for me.
Mufasa's massive hit.
Yeah.
Well. Let's finish up here with some highs and lows. What did people like? What did people not like?
I think the people who like this movie, we are going to read a review written by a 14-year-old. And the people who did not like this movie, we're going to read a review written by a 40-year-old.
Sure. Well, how about this comes to us from, here we go. Oh boy, IMDb fan, and then a bunch of numbers. I'm not going to read all of them. 373.
John, with due respect, read all the numbers. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, 373-407-4445. See, it was a lot of numbers. Are you happy now?
Yes.
who calls it a masterpiece of modern animation. I have ruptured. This is a crazy beginning to this. I have ruptured 7 ligaments on my right leg and tore my ACL in my left leg a day before I was set to watch a Minecraft movie. I was practically crawling in the movie theater just to see Jack Black and Jason Momoa sing rock and roll together, and boy, was I not disappointed. From start to finish, this movie is packed with colorful and stunning visuals, action-packed scenes, tear-jerking character developments. No spoilers, I cried during the Jason Momoa scene. Keep in mind, there may be painkillers involved in that. I'm not here to say that it's all fine, but the idea of like being moved to tears by this, I think maybe
might have been involved. Yeah,
may be aided by the medical state of this person. Anyway, and a breathtakingly captivating plot. My eyes were glued to the screen, scanning for Easter eggs, for fun additions to the world of Minecraft, as well as nods to the all too familiar aspects of the game that we all love. There was one scene where Steve bounced from a slime block, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's how it works in the game too." So many more fun moments like this.
This might be written sarcastically. I'm not sure.
I would break all the bones in my leg just to have the opportunity to see this absolute 10 out of 10 badass masterpiece all over again. I plan to watch it in 128 different languages just to see if I can catch more obscurities. It's also possible that they're still high on the painkillers.
I don't know as if this review was written in earnestness, John.
Are any of these? Anyway, there's a lot of people who like this movie. I don't know. They're all kind of like that. The 10s. There's just a lot of people who are like, I like the game. They did the things from the game. Jack Black is funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. No notes.
Okay, how about this? This comes to us from Gatecaz. I don't know. Which is titled A Film Poor in Content and Trivial. Get ready, dear viewers, because if you thought a video game movie based on creative freedom and exploration could be turned into an I'm assuming this is the tone that they're writing this in, turned into an even vaguely inspiring movie, you are in for a brutal awakening. The Minecraft...
You have to be the food critic from Ratatouille, John.
Yes, The Minecraft movie is a cinematic operation that to call poor is a galactic understatement. We are faced with a product of disarming, sterile simplicity. The plot, assuming one can use such a pompous term to describe the feeble thread that binds one scene to the next, is staggeringly trivial. It seems as if the screenwriters have taken the most basic concept of the game-building survival, perhaps a generic villain, and stretched them without any inventiveness, without a flicker of originality that would tickle the viewer's curiosity in the slightest. There is no depth, no subtext, absolutely nothing beyond the surface of a beginner's tutorial in video gaming. The characters? Two-dimensional specks moving around the screen without any compelling motivation, without a shred of charisma. Their interactions are drab, the dialogue bland, and their supposed adventures do not elicit the slightest emotion. It almost seems as if they were placed there out of pure contractual obligation, as anonymous pawns in a hasty narrative lacking ambition. 1 out of 10 stars.
He's just slowly swirling his decanter of red wine as he stares into the fire and dictates this.
As I pore over Sid Field's book on storytelling, I see here. Yeah, it's just like, all of that is like, there's like a shred of that being true, but at the same time, it's like, I'm a big believer in, and this has always been sort of a point of contention I have with other people, and sometimes even you and I get into it a little bit with this, is more so obviously on my other podcast. I really, although I think you would agree with me on this, that I try to meet a movie on its level. What is it trying to be? I don't compare every movie ever made to every other movie ever made, because I think that that's a disservice. And so you're like, if you're trying to put this like next to Citizen Kane, yes, all of the things you're saying are kind of true, but for what it is, it's pretty good.
And I think if more people did that and understood that, like, okay, this is with this movie on its own level, and you don't have to click with what that level is, and that's okay.
Yes.
Because, like,
That's okay.
I love a Godzilla movie. You don't like giant monster movies. That's all right. But, like, I can know that the giant monster movies I'm getting are doing all the giant monster movie stuff, and that's what I want out of.
Right. Yeah. There's
This
sort
is
of
doing everything a Minecraft movie should do. And if you like what a Minecraft movie should do, great. This movie will probably be more enjoyable to you than a John Campbell.
Totally, and that's fine. I also have never, ever argued that my opinions should be taken with anything but like, these are just my opinions. I'm not saying you should listen to me.
No, John, we are saying people should listen to us.
People should listen to us, but for entertainment purposes purely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the idea about, like, whatever I think is just what I think. That's not. I don't like getting into objective stuff. You can. There are. We once again, it's easier when a movie is, like, really sloppily put together. Like, that's the other thing too, is I think we've seen enough legitimately god awful movies that we can tell when it's like, okay, Jesus, like, there is no script here. And this movie, like, once again, if you want to get into, like, the objective, like, screenwriting math of it and stuff, you're like, yeah, it works. It all works on a basic story level. You can argue how much it impacts you or whether or not it's the most original thing, or, but it's totally fine. Like I said, I was not angry during any of it. It all went down pretty smooth, as you were saying.
Was I brought to tears by the emotional impact of the young Natalie who was forced to grip with becoming an adult while also supporting her younger brother? Yeah. No, but it was there. It was enough.
You mentioned I feel similar to that show Wednesday that she's on, where I'm like, oh yeah, I think this is well made. I don't watch it really because it's not my bag, man.
The Wednesday level is not for John Campbell. He needs to watch a military procedural about black ops and the history of the CIA.
Well, yeah. If I'm watching Terminalist Dark Wolf on Amazon right now. Yeah. So it's, like I said though, but yes, not especially. I think especially now with the massive increase of content that we have through streaming services and stuff like that. Not everything is going to be for everybody. Of course, there's just too much stuff. And, kids do need stuff to watch. And you could do a hell of a lot worse than this, showing your kids things. Holy shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jesus. There's a lot of slop out there. Jesus. And I wouldn't necessarily call this slop.
No, I think this is a polished product made by people who know what they're doing. That also the comment that they all seem here by contractual obligation. I did not get that feeling. It seemed like everybody
everyone's here to play,
is doing their job and having fun. And once again, whether you're having fun watching it, that is one of the points I would say, like, objectively, no, I do not see checked out actors here. I'm sorry, that's just not accurate to what I saw.
Jason Momoa literally brought everyone else here. He produced the damn thing.
No, yeah, this is like I said, Momoa is psyched out of his mind to be doing this. He's as psyched to do this as he is to be Duncan, Idaho.
And Jack Black's doing his Jack Black thing. I'm like, everyone's having a good
Everybody is doing what you want them to be doing. So yeah, it's totally fine.
Even the weird Jennifer Coolidge subplot is.
Oh, that's like my favorite thing in the movie. It's so weird, and I do love Jennifer Coolidge. She's always hilarious. All right, well there you go. That's a Minecraft movie. It exists.
Oh, John.
Yeah,
I survived.
Yeah, you got through this one. You got another investigation. You get a little breather before another investigation comes your way.
I'm turning in my badge and gun. No more. Just no more.
Yeah, you got to get that boat. You and your wife can take off on that boat finally. Oh no, what's this? A sniper? No. Tell my wife.
Oh no.
I love her.
Is my ending this season on Her Majesty's Secret Service? No.
Or it's you turn it and you're going like, I'm finally gonna start the life I've always wanted, and then I'm waving to you in the parking lot, and then your car explodes. No, that's the cliffhanger ending of this season. No. But then you come back later, but you have like a robot arm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, why wouldn't you want more of these wonderful antics? You want to check out our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/punchup, that's punchup ENT. Get cool exclusive bonus content, as well as help out all the shows on the Punch Up Entertainment Network. And Gorgone, where can people check out those shows?
I don't know, like Spotify or something.
Well, they can do that, but another great place to do it would be...
Oh, YouTube, of course.
Yeah,
YouTube.
There you
That's
go.
youtube.com/@punchupentertainment. While you're there, you can see all of the shows there, as well as experiencing those shows, like on May the Panel Be With You, where John and I talk about comics. You can read the comics along with us as we display them via the magic of telephoto displays. And
watch this, moving pictures.
While you're there, just please, if you could, as a favor to me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications for all of the stuff coming out on the Punch Up Entertainment Network.
Much great stuff.
That includes shows like Camel Jones Meet the Monsters, as well as our YouTube exclusives like Punch Up Plays, where Elliot and I are still trucking through the Mass Effect franchise.
Can I plug something here that I don't think we've actually officially announced on anything? So is this
That's
an
up to you, my man.
Due to popular demand, we've heard you. The Action Shelf is coming back, folks. In a whole new format. I'll get into that later, but it will be a YouTube exclusive series. If you've missed Michael Listman and I talking about movies where people kick, punch, shoot, or explode each other,
I know I have.
There will be a new evolution of it, a next generation of that, if you will.
So it's Action Shelf with tea, Earl Grey hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be. That's actually kind of a funny bit. We'll be sipping tea and watching people kick, punch, shoot, and explode each other.
I mean, knowing Michael Listman, that's actually not outside of the realm of possibility.
That's a good roundhouse kick there. Yes, sir. He appears to be using a 50 caliber on that one, sir. Anyway, that's kind of fun.
Bloodsport.
Yeah.
At 1.1 speed.
Oh, it's interesting you mentioned Bloodsport, and I'll just leave it there. But yes, make sure you go over on that. Next week on the show, my God, I never thought this day would come. It is the final episode of the video game season of the IP Squad. Holy God. This has been...
How far we've come.
I think this is our longest season. This has definitely been the longest season of this show. And it will be, to finish up the finale, it kind of a random one just by circumstance. We'll be talking about Until Dawn. Which is based on the horror game franchise. But of course, that's an episode so big, I have to have two guests with me. Elliot Lewis and Olivia Gray will be on to discuss Until Dawn.
I know those two. They're so good.
Yeah, well, I mean, Elliot has been... I will say, I haven't watched it yet. I have heard good things about the Until Dawn movie, though. Yeah, I've
looked too scary for me, John. I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, you were out no matter the quality, but but yes. So of course they will be here as they often cover a lot of the horror stuff. So we'll see.
All power to them. I'm out of here.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, too scary for me. Anyway, you can stay in the Minecraft. I was worried about you and the zombies in this. No. Quaking in his boots. But yeah, so that'll be the last episode next week. But until then, the case file is closed.